Hey girl, hey, welcome to my channel. If you are new, hi baby, I am Fancy. It is so nice to have you. If you are returning, thank you so much for the love and the support, and welcome back. So today we will be doing a girls chat. I know a lot of you girls are out there getting to that bag, going on them dates, mixing, mingling, and adding on to your roster. So with that being said, I wanted to assist my girls in these streets and make sure you are safe and successful. So this is going to be 10 steps to help my girls if they are nervous, and how to turn that nervous energy into a successful first date. So if you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and definitely share this one. I don't usually say share, but you girls go above and beyond, and y'all always do share. But this is going to be the one that is going to put the girls on. I'm trying to make sure that you are over here securing the bag, you're setting the tone, and you're not wasting your time when it comes to men who never qualified from the beginning. Also, if you are in our Patreon, please be on the lookout this week, because I am announcing well, I guess if you were in the live chat, you kind of already know, but I will be announcing where we are doing our next domesticated girls trip. We will be staying at a country club resort, so I figured that would be fun. Like, at that point, you girls have to behave, because baby, they will kick you out, and that's on you. Okay, that is on you. So this week I will be getting all the details out there to the girls in the Patreon. They get first dibs. I'm only going with a small group only because of the setting. And when I tell you I have so much planned for that weekend, I'm super excited. And then maybe the 1st of October, I will open it up to whatever remaining spots to YouTube. So join the Patreon if you're not already, to get that exclusive access, to get first dibs when it comes to everything. And if not, just be on the lookout when it comes to these videos. Have the notification bell turned on. I post every Tuesday and Friday, and this Friday I will do another story time for you girls. Again, when it comes to real life experiences, I do understand how much it helps you, regardless if it is a fail, or which is a lesson learned, or if it is successful and something was secured. Okay, so yes, please subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share. Tip number 1 when it comes to getting ready for the first date: research. Ladies, do your research. Unfortunately, we have been made aware that there has been a lot of women who have gotten hurt, who has passed away, who has gotten into a bad situation because they did not know who they were dealing with, or they did not have a safety plan, or they crossed the line and let that person come back to their home, or they went back to their home, or they went somewhere where it was just only the two of them. So in this case, tip number 1 is to do your research. When these men are conversing with you on these apps, they will want to exchange contact information. It always happens. Fancy, I don't want to give out my real number. How do I avoid that when he sent me his number on the app? Y'all say this every single time. So as soon as you get that phone number, you definitely collect it with his name, with his age, and his pictures. You need to be screenshotting those pictures so you can reverse search the pictures online. On this research, you should know where he's lived for the last 10 years. You should know his employment, or at least his net worth. You should also be able to identify if there has been other women who have went on dates with this guy that left warnings: do not date this guy. And there are plenty of apps out there that can assist with that. Along with a reverse picture search, you can find a lot of information by taking these guys' pictures. So that is the first tip. Do your research, know exactly who you're dealing with, know if he can even afford you, know if he's caused trouble in the past when it comes to women, or if he has a criminal history, or anything that is open to the public that you should be able to pull up. Again, referring back to these women who have went on these dates, they're not even sugaring. They're not even dating up in some situations. They're just dating regular guys. And they're coming up missing because they are not doing their research. And when it comes to doing your research, you can find out if these guys have a criminal background. Like this one lady, I do believe the news, who reported her story, they were able to simply, with a free site online, was able to find out that the guy had prior assault charges. And regardless if they're dropped or not, anything physical, anything violent, anything that you wouldn't feel comfortable sharing with your family that he has, like that guy has dealt with legally, you don't need to go out with him. Sis, it's not your job to change him or be understanding or being patient. So that's tip number one, as far as getting ready and getting comfortable and getting used to and getting rid of the nerves when it comes to dating. Know who you're going on a date with. Tip two. The second thing is, now that you know who you're dealing with, you need to have a safety buddy. If you don't have a family member that you trust or that you're comfortable with sharing this information that you're dating and this is who you're going to be going out with, then a girlfriend. If you don't have a girlfriend, join the Patreon. There are so many girls, regardless if they're local to you or not, having a girl that has access to what this guy looks like, where he lives, and any kind of emergency information that if that girl does not hear back from you by a certain time, that she needs to take step 1, 2, and 3. Contact your family member, call the police, do whatever steps, take whatever steps necessary to make sure that you are safe. And I say that because if you know where these men live, there's no way that you can be lost or be in a situation without having somebody pull up. Hey, we out here. Bring them out, okay? So have a safety buddy that you can check in with and you can share this information. Someone that you trust and someone who you can depend on staying up, at night to make sure that they hear back from you before they continue doing whatever they're doing. So that is very, very important. Tip number 3. Converse as little as possible prior to the first date. The more that you have dialogue between you and that other person, the less you have to talk about on your date. It's like, girl, y'all talked for 2 to 3 weeks. At this point on the first date, y'all are just going to be sitting there like, I already know, already asked it, already talked about it, already, like, we've already went there. And then the more you talk to these guys, at that point, they're comfortable with you, they're used to you, they know how you respond, how they joke, you're understanding, they understand that you're a pushover, they understand that you're not that sensitive, that if they press you enough, you'll do what they want you to do. So talk to them as little as possible. They shouldn't be able to clock you when it comes to your personality, how you respond, what you're thinking. You want these guys to be nervous. You want them to think, wow, what type of woman is she? If I said this, would she feel offended? If I commented on her cleavage, if I commented on her silhouette, would she be offended? You know what? Let me not even go there. Let me just say overall, she's beautiful. You want these men to be on their P's and Q's. You want them to feel as if they have an opportunity of losing you, because they do. So don't talk to them as much prior to the first date. Save that conversation for when you're getting, like, when he's spending money. He's paying to have you out. He's not going to sit here and get to know you for free. So make sure any type of getting to know one another is happening on his dime. Tip number 4 says, because you did your research, because you are that girl, you already know some of his hobbies, some of the things that he enjoys, some of the charities that he invested into, some of the things that he has done. You know that his family has a hospital that was named after them because of the amount of money that they have spent within that community. So because you know these things, yes, it's important to keep that you did research to yourself. Definitely use that information. A lot of guys really enjoy women who naturally have similar interests. Like if he's in a medical field, there's certain things and certain charities and just certain topics that you can bring up within y'all's conversation. He's like, oh wow, really? And then that opens up the door for him to say, well, actually, I am a surgeon. Or, if he is an owner of a company, or if you know that he holds a chair for a golfing organization, then you can bring up some things that you prior to the date did some research on, and you sound a bit knowledgeable. Not too smarty pants, like do your homework for each of these guys and really be able to teach them everything on the topic, but enough information where you can start the conversation, and then you can kind of ask him questions where you are positioning yourself for him to quote unquote teach you, or to quote unquote show you or share something about himself that he's eager to share with you, because it's obviously something you have interest in because you brought it up. This is going to definitely put you ahead of the other girls that he's out there dating. He's going to be like, she's beautiful, she smells amazing, and not only is that, she has a great conversation and she shares some of the same interests as me. So I don't mind going above and beyond and catering to the interests that we might not share if it comes to shopping and things like that. I'll just do that for her, because I know that if I ever want to take her on a business trip and we're going to a ski resort, I know that she'll be the type of girl that will be more than happy to accompany me in something like that. So definitely do your research on some of the hobbies and some of the things that you were able to find about him that he is a part of. And so yeah, ladies, when I tell you I'm putting y'all on today, and I'm gonna go fast too because I have something to do tonight. I have something to do tonight, okay? So, yes, that's why I'm talking so fast. Okay, the fifth one. If you have been subscribed to this channel for a minute, you already know how important it is to have that feminine mystery. So with that being said, we're not sharing everything. Know what you're going to share with this guy, and know the information that you're not going to share with him. Know your story, and know your story good enough so you don't forget, you stay in character, and if he asks you additional questions about something within your story, you're able to further elaborate. And also know the way to say, hey babe, let's take things slow. I'm not really comfortable sharing that yet, but I hope that we build a connection where I am comfortable sharing that in the future. So be able to say no. Be able to let him know that you have boundaries. That's not something that we're going to discuss. I'm not really comfortable. And it's okay to let them know you're not comfortable, because that's going to help you measure how much he respects you. Also, if you need to, consider role playing. Definitely join the Patreon, and you girls can bounce off different scenarios off of one another. You can join a live and paint the scene. This is the setting. I met you here. This is how old you are. And bounce off different circumstances, responses, how I would navigate this. If somebody said this, practice. If you need to, tell your story to yourself in the mirror. Practice it with a sister, a girlfriend, a cousin, a bestie. Practice your story, because I've heard some horror stories where the girl's like, Fancy, I forgot where I was supposed to be working, or I told him something and then by date 2 I forgot that I told him that, so then I went back and told him something different, and then he brought it up saying, but I thought you told me. Know your story and practice your story, and know it frontward and backward, along with know your finesse phone number and know your finesse name and respond to it, sis. Like, come on. 6, make sure he takes you to a restaurant of your choice. And I say that because when you have say-so over the environment, then that's going to help you identify how much he truly is interested in making you happy. So if he is not willing to go or choose from a restaurant of your choice, then that means that he's going to further be able to say no to any other requests that you ask for. If you can't do something simple like accommodating where I want to go on a first date, then how likely is it that you're going to negotiate a higher allowance? Like, I'm not comfortable with that number, but I'm more comfortable with this. He's gonna be no. He's gonna say no. If a guy says no to you and you allow it, at that point you're allowing him to continue to say no, and you're wasting your time. So make sure that you're able to identify that his intentions are truly to make you happy. And to do this, make sure the restaurant is of your choice. And at that point, it's going to build confidence where this guy really likes me. He did say that he's not really a formal kind of guy. He's more of a casual guy, but he is still going to take me to this restaurant because this is the place that I want to go. So at that point, it's going to not only help you when it comes to asking for what you want, but it should build some confidence and some pizzazz when it comes to the second thing that you're going to ask from him. Your second request, the gift, the meat fee, the hair money, the nail money, the shopping, or whatever the case may be. So the first step definitely needs to be restaurant of your choice. So 7, know the game plan. Now the game plan is going to be different depending on where you met this guy, how you met him, and what is like the vibes or the tone of y'all's connection. Now the game plan means, are you going to be asking for money prior to the first date? Are you going to tell him to bring you a gift on the first date? Are you going to, and this is something new from the Patreon that I put the girls on, and I guess I'm gonna share with you. Are you going to, on the first date, get him to purchase you something while y'all are together on the first date? Or are you going to have him invest into you prior to the second date? Know the game plan, sis. Whenever you are expecting to ask this guy to contribute, for him to invest, know when you're going to do it. Oh, and then also know how much you're going to ask from him, and know already the amount of allowance that you would want from him. Because you did your research, you know how much he makes, and you know what's a reasonable request. So make sure you're being realistic, and make sure you already have the allowance number in your head prior to the first date. And I say that because yes, an allowance talk may not come up on this first date, and a lot of you girls, if you know, you know, and you should know if you don't know, Patreon, you know when the allowance talk should be had. And with that being said, I don't want it to be touched on prior to the date you're expecting, and you're not prepared. You don't know, oh, I haven't even thought about it. Let me go home and think. Baby, you knew that you was going to have a test, a pop quiz one of these days. You had all the study guide. You had the study guide all this time, and you didn't look at the study guide one time to prepare yourself to be able to be ready for this pop quiz whenever it popped up. So you know the goal is to get a consistent allowance. That is the goal. And you have all of this time to prepare for that, but you don't know exactly when the allowance topic is going to pop up. Be prepared. Know how much you want to ask him for, and know how much he makes, so you can reasonably ask for enough so you don't short yourself, or you don't ask for something that he cannot afford. Okay, number 8. So to the anxious girls, the girls that are dealing with anxiety and dealing with nerves, and they're just like, Fancy, this is a lot. I just, I really don't know what to do, and I'm taking notes. I can do it, but still, I'm just so nervous about it. Work out. Do something to let off that nervous energy. Also, notate. Stop drinking so much. People do not understand that the more alcohol that you drink, the more it affects your anxiety. So people say, oh no, it numbs me, it calms my nerves. No, your anxiety is on a whole nother level because of the way alcohol affects your brain. So please slow down on the drinking and go to the gym. Do something productive. Do something that's going to help you take your mind off of that date, and also, get that body right. Okay. And so I might have touched on this earlier, but number 9, join or take advantage of a resource where you are able to be around other like-minded women. Like a Patreon, comment below, be around other women who are on your same journey, so you can bounce off different situations and say, hey girl, I went on this date, it was terrible, and I wish I would have known this prior to going on this date, because I would have handled it differently. So now this girl is trying to tell you something that she didn't even have the pleasure of knowing, but she's putting you on just from her experience, and vice versa. Make sure that you're a part of a group of women where you are able to grow with one another, encourage one another, and be each other's accountability partner. That's going to truly help. In addition to that, hand holding. In the Patreon, you're able to screenshot your conversations. If for whatever reason something comes up and you don't know how to respond, if something happens on a date and you don't know what to do for date 2, if something doesn't go the way that you were expecting it to, you have second opinions. Always have someone that you can get a qualified second opinion from. And that's number 9. When you are prepared, you will be more successful. And the 10th and final thing to help you get rid of those nerves and help prepare you to have a successful first date will be, it's simple. Go on more dates. The more you do something, the more comfortable you're going to become doing it. Sis, you have to get out there and you have to do it. Jump in. There's nobody on this platform can tell you that's just going to say, okay, I'm at peace, I'm done, the fear is gone, and I'm just going to go. The more you do it, the less you're going to be fearful as to what could have happened, what should have happened, what would have happened. You're going to already know because you do this. We does this. Sis, get out there and go on more dates. So ladies, I hope this helped. I hope you enjoyed this girl chat. I am about to head out. So this one actually is short and sweet. And I hope to get this up to you early Tuesday. I will get it up to you early Tuesday. And that's on period. Okay. So I love you girls. Have an amazing weekend. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.